Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a bit different to my usual content, but it's also kind of the same. Today I want to reflect on the last 5 years of reviewing hacked clients, from my first time using some of the now popular clients, to my personal thoughts on these hacked clients, to how I run these clients in a virtual machine to keep myself safe from potential malware. But before we get to all of that, I want to give a massive shout out to the legends that are my YouTube members. Videos like this would just not be possible without the support from everyone on screen now. So thanks for the support and let's get into the video. The first videos posted on this channel were not actually about Minecraft hacked clients, but rather cringy videos of me being bad at Fortnite or random content relating to 2b2t.org. I was playing a lot of 2b2t at the time and had recently started experimenting with different free hacked clients. So I decided to make a video reviewing some of the clients that I personally liked and used. This video did not blow up immediately, but it did get more views than other content I had released at the time. I took note of this and started making more content around hacked clients, and well, we all know what that eventually turned into. At this time I was using clients like WWE, now known as Inertia, the Impact Hack client and Future. As I got more into hacked clients, I learned about Thoughts On RusherHack, the Pyro client, and Catalyst. I remember trying RusherHack for the first time and being so surprised with how complete and good the client was compared to other popular and available clients at the time. I also remember Pyro suddenly becoming popular due to the auto dupe module. Around this time I tried Catalyst for the first time and I remember really liking its GUI. It was also around this time that Abyss seemingly came out of nowhere. They launched with a cool client trailer on 2b2t and built a lot of hype around the client from this trailer. I also found a lot more free clients, from GameSense to clean versions of the Phobos client to the Seppuku hack client, aka the best hack client ever made. And this really feels like the peak of hack clients to me. There were so many clients, so much innovation, and if I remember correctly, it was around this time that Chorus Control was released, Offhand was fairly new and becoming popular, and Burrow was changing the Crystal PvP meta. I'm not sure how accurate that all is timing wise, but that's kind of how I remember things. I specifically remember using the Cami Blue continuation known as Lambda for the first time. My honest thoughts were, I don't really like the GUI, but the clients and modules are pretty cool. I also somehow completely missed the client's plugin system, and I remember being blown away at how cool this feature was when I tried some of the popular add-ons for the first time. Up until this point, I'd only ever used clients for 2b2t or clients that supported the same version as 2b2t. I had a few people asking me to take a look at a semi-new hack client called Meteor. I remember kind of pushing it off for a while because Meteor was not made for 2b2t and supported newer versions of Minecraft. When I eventually got around to downloading the client, I distinctly remember loading it up for the first time. I was blown away with how advanced the client was. The user interface was really cool, everything was tied together and worked well, and I remember thinking that the client was epic. Anyways, that is enough history for one video. Those are some of the main clients and modules and meta changes that stand out in my memory. There were obviously a lot of other clients and interesting things happening at the time, but we will leave that for another video. At this point in time, there really was no competition for the Meteor client on the latest Minecraft releases. It was so much better than everything else out there, but there was still a huge market for Minecraft 1.12.2, and most clients focused more on this than the latest release. This all changed when 2b2t updated to Minecraft 1.20. Clients were either discontinued or updated to the latest versions, Cronus was abandoned, Boze was launched, while Future and RusherHack updated to the latest releases. This quick change in the meta left a lot of clients discontinued, and overnight there was suddenly some real competition for the Meteor hack client. So now, before I tell you all my brutally honest thoughts on all of the popular hacked clients, I want to take a second to ask everyone watching to either like or dislike the video. This helps me gauge what content you enjoy watching and hopefully leads to better content for everyone. Thanks for the support. Now let's take a look at Meteor. I really like Meteor, I use it here and there, and it is not a bad client by any measure, but as I said earlier, Meteor once had no competition. It was for the longest time pretty much the only real choice for modern Minecraft versions, and at this time Meteor really was miles ahead of the competition. But ever since 2b2t updated, there has been a lot more innovation and competition. These days the client is still a good choice, it is just not as far ahead as it once was. The main thing that makes Meteor stand out to me is the large collection of free client add-ons. The community has come together and created some genuinely epic add-ons that actually improve the client quite drastically. And while other clients offer their own add-on systems, none of them offer as many add-ons as Meteor does. Moving on, let's now take a look at Future. I was a fairly early Future client user. I purchased the client in early 2017 and I have been using the client ever since. The way I see it, Future is like the Apple of hack clients. They do things in their own way and this can be frustrating, but generally speaking, when they do things, they do them well. What do I mean by this? Well, Future has not changed in appearance basically at all since I got the client. There is no HUD editor and you can only choose a corner for HUD elements, and this feels so outdated and is kind of frustrating. And yet at the same time, the modules that are offered feel super high quality. They basically all work well and the combat modules are really the client's strong point, especially for Crystal PvP on stricter anti-cheats. I think Future having high quality modules is the main reason it's so popular. The modules speak for themselves and the client doesn't need a good GUI or fancy render modules to drive sales. Now let's take a look at RusherHack. This remains my go-to recommendation for Anarchy servers. The client offers a lot of good modules for utility and for traveling, and while its combat hacks have improved, I would still recommend RusherHack for utility and Future for combat. This is another client I've been using for a long time, and maybe I am a little biased here, but I do think that the combination of Future and RusherHack is awesome. These two clients work so well paired together and basically cover everything I need. RusherHack tends to offer decent bypasses for 2B2T and the client updates quite quickly, which is awesome. Now let's talk about Boze. The client gets a lot of hate and personally I don't think that this hate is justified. The client has improved and updated a lot since it first launched. The client has clearly been trying to improve its modules and user experience, and I do think that they are doing a good job. Boze offers hacks for Crystal PvP, hacks for Anarchy servers, and it now offers a Ghost client mode with more legit modules for minigame servers. I personally prefer a more focused client. If I wanted a minigame client, I would go get one specifically for that, but maybe some people like having one client that covers a bit of everything. There is also Mio, a hack client that I have actively avoided until recently due to cracked clients being bundled in within the client. The modules offered by Mio are actually pretty good. The client is great for combat and utility, and it is genuinely a cool client with a lot of value. Mio offers some cool bypasses and is actually a pretty good choice for servers like 2B2T. The client does have somewhat of a sketchy past though, with the cracks being included within it and lots of rumors of the client being unsafe to use. Mio is also a Russian made client and I know that some people find that sketchy. After looking around, I have not seen any real proof of Mio being unsafe, but I will say use this client at your own risk. This is another Russian client, but unlike Mio, ThunderHack is free and open source. I actually really like ThunderHack. The client offers awesome render modules, good combat modules, and some decent utility hacks, and well, you can't beat the price of free. Sadly, ThunderHack has been discontinued, but the devs have announced a new project, and I'll take a look at this when it does eventually go public. Then we have the well-known Wurst client. I do like Wurst, I just don't have a good reason to use the client. I think it's great for users that are new to hacking as the client and modules are pretty user-friendly, but for users with more experience I would recommend one of the other hack clients mentioned in this video. One interesting and standout feature offered in Wurst that makes the client popular is the free server finder module bundled within the client. So if that is interesting to you, then maybe the client would actually provide you with some value. And these are all of the popular clients that I think deserve to be mentioned. There are obviously a lot of other clients out there and I've probably covered them in separate videos, but these are the main public clients with a focus on Crystal PvP and or Anarchy servers. This has basically just been a short recap and overview with my honest thoughts on all of the popular clients. I am genuinely curious to know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with this list and my thoughts? I really would like to know, so let me know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to how I stay safe while using all of these clients. These days I run most of the clients I test in a virtual machine. It is a much safer setup than using my main computer directly, but it is also more complicated and comes with a few challenges. I use Hyper-V Manager, a tool built into Windows that lets you set up and manage multiple virtual machines. To make gaming possible within my virtual machine, I set up GPU pass-through, which essentially splits my graphics card into two. One portion is dedicated to the virtual machine, providing the performance needed for gaming, while the other half is still used for my main computer. It is worth noting that not all graphic cards support GPU pass-through, so you'll need to check your hardware compatibility first if this is something you want to try. The biggest challenge with this setup is mouse performance. When gaming, mouse input often becomes unresponsive or completely breaks. To solve this, I use Parsec, a remote desktop tool. I install Parsec on both my host machine and the virtual machine, and then I use this to control my VM. With a good setup, this approach works surprisingly well for gaming. It might not be the perfect solution, but I think it's a much safer option than running random software directly on my personal computer. Setting all of this up is a bit of a pain, but once it's all up and running, it works well. I am not going to explain how to set all of this up here. It is a very long process, but I will link some very good tutorials in the description down below. I don't think most people need to set all of this up. Just be mindful of which hack clients you choose to use, and well, you should be fine. But if you do experiment with a lot of sketchy clients, then maybe take a bit of time to set this up. It really could be worth it. Looking back on my own journey with hacked clients and reflecting on the events, clients and moments that stood out to me over the years has been a really fun throwback. Of course, there's so much more to this scene, clients, modules, events and history that go way back to long before I ever got involved. Everyone's key memories are going to be slightly different, and that's what makes the community so interesting. Anyways, I'm genuinely curious to hear what you guys think. Do you agree with my thoughts, or do you have a different perspective? I'd love to know, so let me know in the comments down below. And I think that has been more than enough rambling for one day. So as always, I've been your boy KiLAB. Peace in the Middle East.